It is a very somber Monday. It's been 22 years since the September 11th attack shook our nation. We have team coverage for you this morning as 9/11 ceremonies take place across the country, including right here in the bi-state.
Alex Fees is live in O'Fallon, Missouri, but we want to start with Mercedes McKay at Scott Air Force Base. Good morning, Mercedes.
Good morning, Michelle and Rennie. Well, we all know that 22 years ago, our nation changed forever. That's why every single year, Scott Air Force Base remembers this day with a moving 9/11 ceremony. It's all about honoring and remembering the thousands of lives lost. This morning, today's ceremony, here's what you can expect. It actually starts at 7:30. It'll begin with a reveille and prayer. That will be followed with speeches by Colonel Richard Kind, who is the 375th Air Mobility Wing Deputy Commander, and Chief Master Sergeant Tim Walsh, a retired fire chief. Today's ceremony will end with a wreath laying and bell ringing. Last year's ceremony had special guest retired Fire Department Chief Dan Daly. 343 firefighters died that day, including one of Daly's lifelong friends. Daly was off duty when he got a call from a friend asking him if he'd heard what had happened. He had not.
He said, "Turn on the TV," and I said, "What channel?" He said, "It doesn't matter what channel." So that was scary enough in itself. I went inside and I turned on the TV and I saw that jet sinking into the building and knew it was going to be a very, very bad day for New York and a bad day for humanity as well.
Daly headed straight to Ground Zero, where he searched in the rubble for survivors. He didn't find any. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll hear more from Daly and what it was like responding on that tragic day. Live at Scott Air Force Base, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
All right, thanks so much, Mercedes. Of course, 9/11 ceremonies are also happening this morning in St. Charles County.
Our Alex Fees is live in O'Fallon at the City Hall there, where pieces of the Twin Towers were created into a moving memorial. Alex?
Rennie, Michelle, good morning. We're live here behind O'Fallon, Missouri City Hall this morning. That's where this ceremony gets underway later today. It's also where pieces of the World Trade Center are on display. I'll show you some of the artifacts we're talking about here. You can see the infrastructure, the bolts and concrete still evident in this piece from the World Trade Center, donated by New York to O'Fallon shortly after 9/11. Now this is where the 9/11 Patriot Day ceremonies get underway at 8:30 this morning. Today's ceremony begins with a 9/11 memorial followed by the 1-mile walk. Chief Tom Vineyard from the O'Fallon Fire Protection District is the keynote speaker this morning. Students from Christian High School and Assumption Grade School will also participate. O'Fallon received pieces from Ground Zero shortly after the attack 22 years ago. One is an I-beam that was part of the World Trade Center, donated by the City of New York. It weighs 500 pounds and was recovered from a landfill on Staten Island. It is now a 17-foot memorial, a tribute to first responders, and is dedicated to the 346 firefighters and police officers who died while trying to rescue victims trapped in the World Trade Center.
What you see is what they were. They're bent, they're burned, they're damaged, and the size of them, you can see what force must have happened to do this to a giant piece of steel.
Now, immediately following that Patriot Day ceremony this morning is a walk along Main Street designed to rally a show of patriotism here in St. Charles County, specifically in O'Fallon. The public is invited to attend, to turn out for this event at City Hall, which takes place at 8:30 this morning. Live in O'Fallon, Missouri, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Alex. There are other events in our area in remembrance of the lives lost 22 years ago today. Tonight, the city of Fenton will hold a 9/11 remembrance ceremony. It begins at 6 o'clock at the Heroes Memorial in Fenton City Park on Larkin Williams Road. Everyone is encouraged to visit the memorial after the service.
Well, we are taking a live look at the Gateway Arch. Today, people will be walking to the Arch grounds from West County. That 21-mile march starts at 9/11 this morning at Mike Duffy's at 141 and Clayton Road. Sydney Stallworth is going to join us live from the Arch in the next half hour with more on the event and also how you can talk to your kids about tragic events like the September 11th attacks.